Looks like it's dead, but it's actually not. I'm always very intimidated by shaping. Hi, welcome back to 17 square meters garden. If you're new here, I'm Dominika. I garden on my 17 square meters balcony in the city center. So today I want to take you along for kind of a maintenance day on the balcony. So as you can see, there's quite a jungle behind me. So there's a few things that I need to do today. We have deadheading to do, we have watering, obviously, as always, fertilizing, and kind of like little things here and there that I will show you as we go. So let's go, let's start with our first project. It's a little bit dark, obviously, because as I always say, I garden in shade, so that's how it looks. The sun is up there and shade is up here. Okay, so we will start here in this corner. In one of my spring videos, like spring balcony maintenance videos, I showed that I prune my chrysanthemums. I'll prune them once again because then they stayed nice and compact. One here, one somewhere over there. We'll go there later. So we are pretty much done in this corner, but before we move on, I figured that maybe I will tell you the names of the plants, just in case if you are interested and you want to purchase them for your own balcony as well. But one thing though, I'm not a plant seller, so you can't buy them from me. A lot of people ask me if they can buy plants from me. No, I'm not a seller. I'm just a balcony gardener, and here I show you those plants just as an inspiration, as you know, kind of like to show you that you can grow them on your balcony as well, that they grow well in pots and that they do well in balcony conditions. Okay, so this plant that we just trimmed, it's a tiarella. It's very similar to heuchera. I have one heuchera in here and one in here. That's a heuchera strawberry, I believe. That's a tiarella, and that's a heuchera timeless orange. Here I had forget-me-nots. It's not looking very nice, but just goes to show you that sometimes plants look like they're dead. The same with this one. I just trimmed the chrysanthemum. It looks like it's dead, but it's actually not. It's going to push new growth, and the ladybug came back because there is a lot of aphids. Hosta, more heuchera, and a bunch of random stuff. And now geraniums. Here's an aftermath. They still look pretty decent. I made a video about how to grow big, beautiful geraniums. If you want to watch that, I will put it in a card up here. Generally, I'm also hesitating because even though I garden in part shade, my acer seems to not really like this position in here, because the sun comes from here, so it gets a few hours of morning sun, but it gets sun scorched, as you can see. So I'm thinking about relocating it to this full shade area back there. Then yeah, it means I will kind of have to move things around. Okay, so that's usually how it goes. I find one thing that bugs me and I end up remaking the entire space. So I ended up putting the acer back there and kind of picked up the hydrangea paniculata. It's a little lime. So the acer is here. I rearranged the space to make it fit. It's not ideal, but a lot of plants are still very small. That's the plant that I just picked up recently, as well as this one, so they will kind of fill in and make this kind of like woodland bushy corner. And when we turn around, I did not change much in here, but I just yeah, that tree didn't really look well in here. It was too skinny, so yeah, I picked up the hydrangea from the floor and I placed it on another pot. That's what I do to have a height on my balcony. So I picked up hydrangea and now I have this mess to clean and fill in with all the remaining plants like all around, creating nice kind of like flower bed situation. Also, something that bugs me is the shape of this tuya. I tried to trim it earlier to make it more bushy, but I kind of see now that when I turn it, because I turn them around frequently so that they get like even sun exposure, but as you can see the shape is a little bit strange, so maybe I will kind of trim it like this right now. I have absolutely no idea how to trim stuff. I'm always very intimidated by shaping those kind of stuff. So yeah, I hope that that helps a little. I don't know, we'll see. I don't want to trim it too hard because after all it's summer, it's not a good moment to trim anything because they can get sunburn and stuff like that. So for now I think that will do. When it comes to trimming, I'm training my bay leaf into a topiary, and recently I pruned it quite hard and I'm happy to see new growth. I tried to create sort of a bubble on top and I twisted the two trunks. So for now it's looking pretty decent. I'm quite proud of it. Okay, one last thing, I need to cut back this callus a little because it grows very long stems and it produces new growth on the top, but I want it to be more bushy rather than long and kind of strange shaped. I know it looks like a crime, but trust me, in no time it will start to fill in again. Okay, so last mission for today, it is to water and to fertilize my plants. In my video where I planted my balcony rail pots, there is a Q&A at the end, all about pots, soil, fertilizers and stuff like that. But yeah, I will just show you what I'm using and just very quickly tell you what I use and for which plants. So Plagron is a brand that I discovered this year and I'm absolutely loving it. So for blooming plants, for flowering stage of plants, I'm using Alga Bloom with Green Sensation. Yeah, so Green Sensation helps with flowering, with soil, with like all. That's amazing fertilizer. For plants that are still growing, like for example here I have my cotton plants, I'm using Alga Grow because that's appropriate for the growth stage. And for very small plants like seedlings, like I still have some sunflower seedlings, I will mix Alga Grow with Power Root. Power Roots stimulates roots. And for my veggie garden, mostly for my strawberries and for my peas, I'm using Alga Bloom with Sugar Royal and with Green Sensation. That's like a total booster. So Sugar Royal is a really interesting product because it stimulates photosynthesis, which makes your plant produce more sugar, therefore your fruits and veggies are tastier. But it also triggers stress response from your plant, which makes the fruit production quicker. So as you can see, they are very large, very nice, and they smell absolutely amazing, and my berry is producing like crazy. I have never had so many berries before. It. Thank you for joining me today for balcony garden maintenance. Of course, it's not something that I do every single day, not even like one time per week. Obviously, every day I control my plants, I look at them. If there's an issue, I address that issue immediately. But this kind of like cleaning and pruning and stuff like that, I do usually once or twice a month. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it gave you maybe inspiration or envy to go out on your balcony to plant something. Let me know in the comments below if you are also a balcony gardener. I would love to look at what you are doing on your balcony. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.